Today, I woke up to some very exciting news that is going to have a meaningful impact to CS2 investing and the CS2 markets, especially in the West. This is something I've been waiting for quite some time and something I can't wait to talk about and see how this is actually going to play out and work. I am Germ, a CS2 investor and cash trader that has been doing this for a little bit over a year now. I am obviously love the CS2 markets. I think they're so interesting, so fascinating, and today we have some big stuff to talk about in those markets. But first, of course, just want to mention my cash trading business real quick. If you are looking to sell any of your CS2 items and turn them into cold hard cash or crypto or any other payment method, you should definitely hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first link in the description below. I'm buying pretty much anything and everything for the right price. You can see here some stuff I've bought recently, knives, gloves, agents, cases, skins, whatever. If you need some IRL money quick, or you need to switch up your inventory portfolio or whatever, hit me up. We can probably get a deal done. And of course, you're helping support me, my channel, my content, which I would appreciate a ton. With that being said, let's get right into this today. This is the news that I woke up to, this big tweet from CS Flow. A little backstory real quick. CS Flow is one of my favorite marketplaces, probably my most used marketplace, and it's not really even all that close. Obviously, previously I was using Buff163 a lot, but now Buff163 has pretty much banned all Western users. It's pretty impossible to use in the West. So now the West has been split up across a bunch of different marketplaces. You have Buff Market, you have Float, you have Skinbid, you have GamerPay, you have Skins Monkey, you have literally all these different options. But CS Float has been my favorite, has been my go-to, it's been my most used. I love a lot of their features. I think the design is really, really sleek. But CS Float, just like all the Western marketplaces, has a few of their own shortcomings. Liquidity isn't amazing here, but they also have a couple of features that has absolutely made no sense. And for so long, I have been crying and whining and tweeting at them, which is weird because their support is usually really, really good. They're usually pretty vocal with the community and they respond to people a lot, but I've always been tweeting at them, when are you going to add patches? Why have you not added patches? Can you hurry the fuck up and add patches? Because you have not been able to buy or sell patches on CS Float, which has made absolutely no sense to me. You've been able to buy and trade patch packs from the Stockholm collection, but not the actual individual patches themselves, which was just absolutely ridiculous. But again, here's the exciting news, the big kind of game changer. We've integrated a new system that allows you to view skins in different lighting conditions within a server before you buy or trade. That's very cool. I think that's very useful and helpful information for people looking to buy skins, wanting to check them out beforehand, especially for people who want to buy like crafts and stuff like that. This works on any skin within FloatDB or the market. Very cool. Also, you can now buy and sell patches. So I do think the first change is a really cool one. I think that's going to help out the market. It's going to help people, hopefully buy more stuff because they're going to see cool stuff that they actually want and like and not have to worry about not liking or whatever before. But them adding patches to the marketplace is actually a huge deal because, again, to me, CS Float is the #1 skins marketplace in the West, and them not having patches has been really, really bad for the patch market. And again, it's even been bad for the site themselves. That's what I've said hasn't made sense. The patches have gone, especially like Riptide patches and stuff, but really all patches, even, the skill group patches, not so much the Stockholm patches for whatever reason, but skill group patches and Riptide patches have gone very insane over the past year, and CS Float has missed out on so many of those opportunities to get trades and sales and all that stuff, which is literally revenue and profit for them, but it has definitely hurt the liquidity of patches because, again, it's the most used by, from everything I see. I know there's some other big players in the West, like stuff like Skinport and stuff as well, but CS Float does seem to be kind of that #1 place in the West right now, and them not having patches made it very hard to actually get patches. Patches are already very, very rare. That's one of the things that patches have going for them. They have low inventories, low supplies. Patches have been very hard to get your hands onto, and Float not having them has definitely made it a lot more difficult. People like Float because there's ease of deposit and withdrawals and a ton of liquidity relative to the West and so many good things going on. But again, them not having patches was bad for the patch market overall, and it made it for people who wanted to invest in patches or buy, sell, and trade patches, whatever, it made it very difficult. You had to have balance on all these different sites. You had to find the one specific patch you wanted here and then buy another patch there and then try and sell it here. But I do think Float now getting patches is going to help a lot of this out. And I do think patches are going to start getting bought and sold on Float a lot more often. You can see here's what this looks like. People already listing, again, very rare patches. Deadman patch is a rare patch, and there's already 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 Deadman patches listed on here. Bayonet frogs are historically really, really difficult to find on almost any site, especially for decent prices. We have 5 Bayonet frogs listed on CS Float right now, and this one is actually listed for pretty damn close to market price, which is really, really good. I'm honestly considering scooping this one up for myself, but even a lot of the top tier patches that are pretty rare and sometimes hard to find, we have an Elder God patch here. We have 5 of them, but one Elder God patch that is listed for right around the actual market rate. We have, so again, this is one thing that's been hard about patches. Like, even if you want to invest, thousands of dollars into patches, there's one Elder God patch here listed for market. You can't, like, if you wanted to spend $1,000 on Elder God patches, you really couldn't even do it because, one, they're just so low supply, but then so many people are also holding on to them. So many of these have been bought up by investors or collectors or whatever. The actual tradable supplies and quantities are so much even lower. So when you do find patches for good deals or at market price or whatever, you really do want to buy them up. We have Aquatic Offensive, not really for any good deals here. One of my favorite patches, we'll talk about this in a second too, is the Sunset Wave. I really want to get some more of these in there. But yeah, you can see CS Float does have these now all listed. This is a very, very cool, very good thing. Some people, even myself included, were talking about on Twitter whether this means the price of patches could go down in the short term because now people have an easier way to actually sell them and get rid of them, and are a bunch of these about to get dumped onto the market. And I actually don't think so. I think saying that patches are about to drop in price or get tanked or whatever just due to CS Flow adding them is actually overrating the West capabilities a little bit. Again, so much trading and so much money still comes from the East, and stuff like Buff163 and UPIN and all this stuff. These things are still functional and active, and they've had big volumes for patches and all these other items for quite some time. So yes, this does make it actually easier for investors and collectors to get involved in the West, but I don't think the West was a ton of the collectors or investors and stuff owning patches in the first place. And yes, being able to sell on flow is going to increase the liquidity, but it's going to increase buying and selling power and pressure. Like me, I'm going to be looking to buy a bunch of patches. I'm not going to be looking to sell my patches on flow. I'm going to be looking to buy patches on float. But again, I don't want to overestimate or kind of overstate the amount of sales and business that CS Float is going to be doing. Yes, it does. This is a big thing for the West, and this is a big thing for patches. And again, I'm looking to buy at patches right now. I think patches are set up for insane success going forward in the future. I know a lot of people are worried about a new operation coming out, which means new patches coming out, which means more competition, which could drop patch prices. But I think going forward in the future, there's a few really big catalysts. Again, getting new agents in the new operation, that's going to be great. People are going to want to make new agent crafts using the Riptide patches, which is going to decrease the amount of Riptide patches out there even further. And also, if we get increased ability of agent customization and agent viewing and stuff like that, that's going to be very, very big for patches as well. So to me, that is some very, very big catalyst for especially the Riptide patches going forward in the future. So that's why I'm looking to buy up a lot of these. Again, you can see here, yeah, in the past month, a lot of Operation Riptide patches are actually not doing so well here. You have, again, a bunch of the top ones that are actually going down. But to me, I see this as a good opportunity to buy some of these up. So again, if I can find a lot of these on float for decent prices, I'm going to be a very, very big and active buyer of patches right now. Again, some of my favorites are definitely the Bayonet Frog, definitely the Sunset Wave, Dead Men. I like the Abandoned Hope. I picked up some of those recently. I like the Aquatic Offensive. I like the Metal Silver, and I like the Metal Silver Demon as well. I'm not as big of a fan of the Elder God or a couple of these other patches, but yeah, some of those other ones I think are really cool, are really craftable on the agents, and are going to have a very bright future ahead of them. We've also seen some really big news in the agent world as well. There's a really big and dedicated kind of agent and patch community that's actually, maybe not so quite well known about, but Mace Derp here, he said, applied 2 frog patches today to make my Slingshot agent a 3x, my first 3x Phoenix agent. And again, we've seen the price of Bayonet Frogs. Bayonet Frogs are $750, and this guy is applying 2 $750 patches to his agent to now have a 3x Bayonet Frog craft. So, it's crazy. There's time periods where stickers get crafted a bunch and different weapons and everything, but this guy's putting all that on an agent, and it's because obviously he believes in one, he just really likes agent and patches, but also believes in the future of agents and applied patches and all that stuff. And this guy owns a ton of unapplied, Bayonet Frogs and stuff like that as well. But also he says here this weekend he applied 3 frog patches to get these agents to 3x, and he's really happy with those crafts. I mean, this guy's an absolute savage in terms of his kind of investments in collection, inventory, and all that stuff. He just has a really, really crazy setup. But yeah, people have been going insane lately. This guy said you should put some Elder Gods on the left, and this guy said, I have a few Elder God crafts in mind, but I'm still satisfied with the Miami Daryl craft that I haven't had the itch to do them. One of my proudest agent crafts, new Miami Daryl with 3x Elder God. So you can see here, tons of crafting going on, which is even better for patches, which means we are getting even fewer and fewer unapplied patches, which is why I'm so excited about this. And now that I'm going to have the opportunity to hopefully have a much easier time of buying up patches. Lately, I've been trying to buy patches on like Buff Market and stuff like that, and there's like 10 people that use Buff Market. It's so hard to get patches on there. So now hopefully I will be able to load up on Riptide patches as I want. Again, I know not everybody loves patches or agents or whatever, but in my opinion, they're one of the top 3 or 4 investments going forward in the future for the next couple of years. And that's why I'm so excited about them. And that's why I'm so excited about this news. And really, to me, float adding patches finally is a huge game changer. That's why I wanted to get this video out to you guys. But that's pretty much it for this video today. Hope I catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.